Daniel Radcliffe stars in a movie as a corpse with magical powers. What's the deal? Hi, I'm Jeff Tucker, and this is What's the Deal Movie Reviews. Little forewarning, this is going to be a spoiler edition for Swiss Army Man, so if you want to see the movie and don't want me to ruin it, click here to kind of skip to the end and get my final review for it. This movie was written and directed by a couple of unknown directors to me, Kwan and Daniel Scheinert. They've done a few short films and documentaries that I hadn't really been familiar with, but you know, if this is their first movie, I think it's really promising. Now, the star for this film is Paul Dano, bit of an unknown for a lot of people. The last movie you might have seen him in was Looper. He played the Looper that let his future self come back and escape, and then they ended up cutting him up a bunch. Pretty underrated actor. Very convincing in this movie as a bit of a desperate loner, maybe definitely a touch of mental health issues, but really solid acting performance. The other star, of course, is Daniel Radcliffe, obviously Harry Potter, pretty famous for that role. But what's interesting about in this movie is that, the entire movie, he's actually technically dead. It's kind of a weird spin-off of Castaway meets Weekend at Bernie's, if you're old enough to remember that second film. If you watch any of the trailers for this movie, you might have thought it was kind of a lighthearted adventure with a magical dead body, a la Weekend at Bernie's. But in the truth, it's really more about a person who has been isolated from society and has basically created a coping mechanism in Daniel Radcliffe's dead body that has all these magical abilities that kind of help him to survive so that he can get back to society. Now, don't get me wrong. If you were to take the beginning and the ends off, the middle of the movie, the meat of the movie is actually really lighthearted. With a few edits, I think you could actually play it off as a Disney movie, kind of quirky and funny in a lot of parts. Throughout the middle of the movie, Hank and Manny are interacting, and kind of Manny's come back to life, and it becomes almost a coming-of-age story of a reanimated corpse when Hank starts to give Manny advice about women and how to talk to women and how to interact in society, which is, you can tell, is very ironic because Hank seems to be an introvert and a bit of an outcast himself. So like I said, I enjoyed most parts of the middle of the movie. I thought they were fun, quirky, and enjoyable. Really the only parts of the entire movie that I even didn't like was how they finished it up. The entire movie, it seemed like it was about, a magical kind of dead corpse, and then you kind of believed in the back of your mind that he was a crazy person and that it probably wasn't possible. And then at the end, it shows that he was a crazy person. No, but then at the very end, it showed that he wasn't a crazy person. I didn't understand the need for it to diverge like it did, kind of make it look like he was crazy, and then, show that he wasn't crazy. So really the only possibility of things being true is that he was crazy and there was a magical dead corpse. It really didn't do it for me. I felt like they were trying to do too much with the ending, maybe try to give it a twist at the very end, when they could have just either made him crazy or made it a magical corpse. It didn't really seem like they needed to have both those things in the movie. So I'm going to give the movie a 3.5 stars out of 5. I thought the cinematography was great. The acting was probably the best part. The music was actually really surprisingly well done. The only reason that I would give it 3.5 stars out of 5 is I felt like the story kind of fell on its face at the very end, which was a bit of a bummer. It kind of puts an end cap on the movie that it really probably didn't deserve. Overall, I think it's definitely worth watching. So that's it. That's my review of Swiss Army Man. Let me know in the comments below what you thought. Did you like the movie, hate the movie? Was the ending as big of a disappointment to you as it was to me? If you enjoyed the review, feel free to like and subscribe. Once again, this has been What's the Deal Movie Review. I'm Jeff Tucker. Thanks for watching.